My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is August 10th, 2024. It is 2:06 a.m. This is video number 2. Video number 1, I was talking mostly about the UK and I read an article. Now I'm gonna focus on these 4 tweets and let's get going. I have a place to go later on. We're trying to leave around 6 o'clock. So by 4 o'clock I have to start getting myself ready because it's a long drive. Okay, so these are the numbers. I see my numbers is going down in terms of subscription and estimate revenue. It doesn't move at all. Okay, and views in the last 48 hours, 1,153 views. Okay, Twitter. Let's go on Twitter. There's a lot going on Twitter. And I was seeing more stuff. So there's this here. We're talking mostly about US politics here. Keep believing what Trump says. You are the fool, not the rest of us. Okay, so there's no comment. That was a retweet. There's that. An oil and gas expert react to Trump's lies about the oil reserve. Okay, 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Sucked all of the oil out, essentially the gasoline, to keep the price down a little bit, and it's had very.
The man literally signed the legislation that made it a legal requirement to sell about half of the oil that was released under the Biden administration.
Okay, I do not know anything about that and I was not following it. But one thing I'm aware of, there's usually an overlap with governments in the US. And this is why we have, for instance, 2 years for representative in terms of their term limit, 4 years for president, and I believe 6 years for senators. Okay, so there's an overlap. This is what the founders find. So, you know, we don't have that sort of dictatorship type of thing that's going on. But the Republican wants to do that. But whatever Trump is saying, I did not follow it. If it is true, he probably signed it like this guy is saying. And then by the time Biden is in office and what he had signed, okay, what he has signed while he was in office, now it's still continuing during Biden's administration. Okay, the same thing with Obama. Obama did some really good stuff while he was in office. So when Trump come in office, the good things that President Obama had signed is running over Trump's presidency, his tenure. But he still find ways to F it up anyway. And by the time he left, you see the chaos he had created. Okay, so there's usually an overlap between governments, okay, in the US. So let's continue.
The man you are listening to signed that legislation and made it a law for that oil to be sold. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2018.
Emptied it. It's almost empty. It's never been this low. And I had it at a good level.
He had it at a good level? What did he do? It was full when he got it. What did he do? What do you mean he had it at a good level?
That's meant for wars.
Yes, that's why we were at war in the Middle East for 30 years and didn't take a drop out of it for that war or any of the wars. That's why. Yeah. Again, if it's meant for war, why did you sign 2 pieces of legislation to sell over 100 million barrels of oil out of the SPR? If it's meant for war, why did you sign that legislation?
Why? Because he's really not for American. He's disarming American. So when whatever it is that the Republican I don't know, I feel like they are informant within the US to cause internal damage. So he's disarming the US, so when the others, the bad guys come, we don't have way to defend ourselves. That's the only way I could see it. But let's continue.
Because it was the only thing they could do to try to keep down his skyrocketing budget deficits. Yeah, that's why they did it. Reminder, Donald Trump signed the legislation that sold half of the oil that was released under the Biden administration. Thanks.
Okay, so that's that. Let me leave it alone. Let's go to the next tweet. Okay, so there's that here. Holy, there's the word here. I can't believe we missed this incredible speech at UAW by Kamala Harris because network were busy letting Trump lie his, there's the word again, off. This is our next president. I spoke about it yesterday in one of my videos, and this is where I put, let me open another tab. I put, what's his name? Lawrence O'Donnell's video link in the description, and I spoke about how disgusted Lawrence O'Donnell was with what the networks were doing while Trump was lying his butt off. Okay, I've shared this link, okay, the YouTube video link of this. I didn't go over it, but I share it with you, and I on my community board as well, and said you guys should, maybe today I'll go over it, I don't know. All right, how the network was covering it. So, but first, let's listen to Kamala's thing.
Balance. And then the outcome will be fair. And isn't that what we're talking about in this here election? We're saying we just want fairness. We want dignity for all people. We want to recognize the right all people have to freedom and liberty to make choices, especially those that are about heart and home, and not have their government telling them what to do. Our campaign is about saying we trust the people. We see the people. We know the people. You know, one of the things I love about our country? We are a nation of people who believe in those ideals that were foundational to what made us so special as a nation. We believe in those ideals. And the sisters and brothers of labor have always fought for those ideals. Always fought for those ideals. And we know we are a work in progress. We haven't yet quite reached all of those ideals. But
that's because we need everyone to participate in it. If you believe in it, you participate in it, and you make it work. Go back to some of my PYTE videos. Okay, I've been speaking about all of these things.
We will die trying because we love our country and we believe in who we are. And that's what our campaign is about. We love our country. We believe in our country. We believe in each other. We believe in the collective. We're not falling for these folks who are trying to divide us.
That's right.
Trying to separate us. Trying to pull us apart.
This is the thing that Russia really understands about the US. He used that against us from 2016. What happened with Facebook and all of that. I even have a thumbnails regarding dividing, we will lose. So they're trying to divide us, and we need to stop and think what is best for us collectively as a nation, as individual, as with your families and everything like that. Okay, so let's continue.
That's not where the strength lies. And there is that. And so I say to all the members of UAW, and Sean Fain as the first who I talked to about this, I am so deeply honored as a lifelong supporter of union labor for Tim and I to have the endorsement of UAW.
Okay, so there's that. Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States. Lawrence O'Donnell, somebody's talking about it. Lawrence O'Donnell, after excoriating the press over their letting Trump rant for an hour, play all of Kamala's speech to the UAW. I had tears in my eyes when she was done. Good tears, tears of hope. As Nina Simone sang, quote, "It's a new dawn, a new day, and I'm feeling good." Oops, let's pause it. Okay. After these two, I'm going to go to the Lawrence O'Donnell thing. Tim Walz literally had a hotline where you could report your non-compliant COVID neighbors. Now they want to trust people. Okay, I know what this smells like, rhymes and not. But the thing is that it's when we knew, okay, we knew what COVID does. There's so many people, so many Republicans who's not here right now because of false information. We knew what could stop it. So this was a health public thing that if someone who has COVID could easily pass it on through the air, so it's a health hazard thing. This was why Trump held a press conference this day. His only way now is his 2020 plan. Stalk the candidate and try to drown down and any way possible, it won't work now. He's old and demented and it shows. Vance is too inept to do anything but look redder and redder. So let me go into that. Let's see here. Okay, regarding Trump, the COVID thing. Tim Walz literally had a hotline where you could report your non-compliant COVID neighbors. Now they want to trust people. Okay, that hotline was funded by and promoted by the Trump administration. Okay, I don't know anything about that. I don't know if you know this, man, but there is a nationwide hotline for writing out your neighbors and the right worship those who answer that call. Okay, could also rhyme with Cross Freeman. Come watch your back. He'll probably snitch on her and they'll bring in the 14th Amendment so he can be president. Okay, trust parents to make the best decision for their children. Trust individual values and belief that aren't the same as yours. I trust Tim Walz. Okay, how do you feel about Texas laws that allow people to report pregnant people who have abortion? I don't know anything about that, but that's this. Okay, many states had that included in red state that I live in. It was promoted by Trump. Again, there's all of this. All right, so now let's go over Lawrence O'Donnell's video. Yesterday, I still don't have time now. I should start editing his video. Okay, if you watch one thing today, please make it this from Lawrence. I implore you, absolutely on fire. Okay, so let's listen to this. It's 5 minutes and 1 second.
And absolutely no comment from the reporters who were allowed to throw questions at him today about how could you possibly flip-flop like that. Well, it was 2016 all over again today. Donald Trump spoke at his home in Florida for over an hour, and all of the cable news networks, including this one, carried it live, just like they all did repeatedly in 2016. It would be hard to find a sentence in what Donald Trump said today that did not include at least one lie. Some of the networks tried to play catch-up with fact-checking after Donald Trump finished speaking, but that, of course, is way too late and utterly useless. No network even attempted to fact-check every lie Donald Trump told. Every network has the capacity, especially with these wide screens we now have at home, to run a live scroll at the side of the screen, fact-checking many of Donald Trump's lies. Not all of them, that would be impossible, but many of them as he speaks. For example, when Donald Trump said, quote, Kamala Harris is not smart enough to do a news conference, the networks could have simply put on the side of the screen, Kamala Harris is a graduate of Howard University and University of California Hastings College of Law. Of course, Donald Trump proved once again today that he is not smart enough to do a news conference by saying something that was provably false in every response he gave to every single question. Most of those were knowing lies by Donald Trump. But many of the falsehoods Donald Trump spread today in his responses came from that vast well of stupidity that takes up most of his brain. The stupidest person who has ever won a nomination for president stood there in front of those reporters and said his opponent isn't smart enough to do what he was failing at right in front of those reporters. And to make a bad news coverage situation worse, none of the networks, none of them, carried Kamala Harris's speech live after the Trump appearance? None of them. This network brought you the last few minutes of Kamala Harris's speech live, but was actually doing Olympics coverage when the speech began and kept doing it. And so, as a first order of business in this hour tonight, we will correct that mistake by presenting to you in full and unedited, as if live, everything that Kamala Harris said today in her speech in Michigan, which all of the networks knew was coming. They knew what time it was coming. They knew how to cover it live, and they didn't. After giving Donald Trump more than an hour of live coverage on all of their networks. It's 2016 all over again. The same mistakes are being made. I have never seen an industry slower at learning from its own stupid mistakes than the American news business. And you cannot expect them in the next 89 days to figure out what they haven't been able to figure out in 9 years, how to cover a Trump for president campaign. One of the Harris-Walz campaign slogans now is, "We're not going back." But we just went back today. We went back 9 years in the press coverage of the campaign, the media coverage. Donald Trump gets credit from the people he lied to today for lying to them. They appreciate it. Reporters understandably and incorrectly believe that the most important thing a candidate can do is answer their questions. But they don't know what an answer actually is. Words spoken after their question marks are not necessarily answers and are never answers when they come from Donald Trump. There are rumblings in the news media now about Kamala Harris as a presidential candidate not doing what Donald Trump did today. Stand up in front of reporters and take their questions. And some of the tinier minds in the news media continue to give credit to Donald Trump for standing up and lying in response to every single question they ask. A lie is not an answer. Donald Trump never answers reporters' questions, never. Anyone in the news media who tells you that Donald Trump has answered reporters' questions and Kamala Harris hasn't is lying to you. And they're too stupid to know that they're lying to you because they don't know what an answer is.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, agree with one caveat. It's not that legacy media hasn't learned from their mistake, it's that they don't care. That's the thing too. Trump is ratings gold. It may be the gold flaking off his toilet, but they will always want to kiss the ring, rating at the price of democracy. That's the thing. This is why I don't even bother hiring cable anymore. Okay, I said he will lie for the entire time and never take a question. Well, I was 100% right. Just look at how they cover Biden being the oldest nominee to how they now totally ignore the same thing now that Trump is the oldest nominee ever is totally BS. The media is complicit. Yep, that's it. That is true. YouTube included. Let's go to the next tweet. All right. It's Politic as well. Okay, I'm gonna stop after this because I have too many things to share. I mean, I have a place to go. It's 2:26 now. Okay, guys, this is amazing. Trump is done. Listen to lifelong Republican John Giles, mayor of Mesa, Arizona, endorsing Harris-Walz in a rally in Glendale, Arizona today. It's beautiful and heartfelt and patriotic. All right, let's listen. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. There will be screenshots.
Thank you. Thank you. I am the very proud mayor of Mesa, Arizona, but thank you. Thank you. But I have to say, I feel maybe a little out of place today. Partly because we're in beautiful Glendale. Okay, there's that. But as you may know, I'm a lifelong Republican. All right? Now, I have to thank you for your warm response. I have to tell you that I do not recognize my party. It has been The Republican Party has been taken over by extremists that are committed to forcing people in the center of the political spectrum out of the party. So I have something to say to those of us who are in the political middle. You don't owe a damn thing to that political party.
As I'm listening to him talking, how this thing started, this is why I will always giving Joe Scarborough as much respect as possible. He saw it the moment it happened. Joe Scarborough is a Republican who has a show on MSNBC. At that time, I had cable. I'll never forget that. He denounced the Tea Party the moment he saw it. He's like, that's not my party. This is not what I grew up in. This is not what I've been in. What took these people so long? They just jumping ship right now to save face. The minute the Tea Party started, they started with their rhetoric, using our past with, Boston Tea Party, this kind of thing, with the history of things, and then use it to form that MAGA world. When in fact, the rhetoric that they were spewing out, the sentimental of it was to divide us. Joe Scarborough saw it. He saw it the moment he saw the BS that was happening. But what took I'm not gonna blame them for it, but I think many of them now, the Republicans now, are just jumping ship, because now the vast majority of Americans, now that we're leading toward the election, November, okay, now people are paying attention. Before, people just minding their business, do this, do that. But when they see the BS, now they see the vast majority is shifting away from Trump. Before, okay, they just ignore them. The MAGA world. But when the well-minded people come together and say, that's enough, all of a sudden, all the other Republicans who've been sitting quietly, allowing Trump be what he is now. When you look at the primary for the Republican Party, where were these people? Just they show up and then they left. Okay, I'm talking about the people who were running for president, pretending they were doing something, but all of a sudden they just jump ship and just leave it for Trump to be the nominee. I don't know, but anyway, let's continue. I'm glad he's talking to the ones who probably were still confused.
In particular, you do not owe anything to a party that is out of touch and is hell-bent on taking our country backward.
Trump had been saying this for a very long time. Where were you?
And by all means, you owe no displaced loyalty to a candidate that is morally and ethically bankrupt. So again, to all of us, I would say, in the spirit of the great Senator John McCain, please.
I can't believe Senator McCain's daughter.
Please join me in putting country over party and stopping Donald Trump and protecting the rule of law, protecting our Constitution, and protecting the democracy of this great country.
Okay, in one video I spoke about how Biden, some of the things that he did, stepping down. We're gonna see, okay, come November, we're gonna see. You know how we send our young people to war to protect our democracy? Now we're gonna see it right here. Biden is gonna do it. We're gonna see amazing thing that's gonna happen. Joe Biden is gonna do it. He's gonna go down in history for one of the greatest president in the United States, because some of the things that he's doing to step down, to allow Kamala Harris to run when he has won, then again he could come back and run again. But we're gonna see why he stepped down, because he has to do it to defend our country. The Constitution, he's gonna make that work. When he took the oath of office to say to protect and defend our Constitution of the United States.
Right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States,
and will, to the best of my ability,
will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
This is why he's doing that.
That is why I'm standing with Vice President Harris and Governor Walz.
Okay, so that's that. All right, there's some comment here. Wow. So I'm done. I don't have anything else. If I go over Trump is done, it's trending right now. We'll see different things here. All right, so that's the one I just shared with you. There's that. Okay, so this is another rally, 8 seconds. Okay, can we get 500 retweets on this? This is why Trump meltdown is trending. Okay, people are, come to see Kamala Harris speech and stuff like that. And this, I shared that already. Okay, so this is Trump empty. I don't know when I really don't. Let me just stop. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. So let me get going because I have in like 3.5 hours I have to get ready because we're gonna go someplace. Okay, so check my community, but I'll be sharing some pictures here and there where we at. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.